All right, now this page, since this page is a little bulky, should be not so bulky. So maybe an interesting pocket page. And what do they got going on here on the papers? Ooh, I think I want to use all that together for something if I can remember that long. I saw. I know I saw. No, that shape would not make a good pocket. I think I know what I'm gonna do. Okay, so let's do, how big is that? We're going to cut a square out of whatever size this is. Okay. It says it's 4 1/4. I am.
Oh, you're recording.
I am. That's all right. Okay, so a 4 1/4 inch square. And we are going to cut it on the diagonal, and I'm just lining up just like that. Keep a hold of it long enough to keep it straight. I'm going to do 1/4 inch squares, only because I don't want these to be too flopsy. I want them to hold snugly what I want to put in there. Okay. Okay, so the next thing is to it's a 3 1/2 inch square. Thank goodness this paper is double-sided. I'm going to find something that's really interesting on each side. And maybe I'll use this. I'm going to use this because I have this piece left. And it's, oh. Jeez, what did I decide? 3 1/2. And I don't always do these right the first time. Sometimes I have to trim them down, so all right. Again, cut on the diagonal. Now I got to decide how I want those stripes to be. Like that, or like that. Decisions. I think I'm going to do them like that. Okay, so now again, Line up your corners. Oh, for goodness sakes, Geneva. Yes, if I used a piece of tape. I'm gonna hold it all in place, but I am who I am. All right, so the color for this, I thought I had a yellow out. I'm going to use Wild Honey. And any sort of yellow will work, girls. Don't get too finicky about this. You want to clip your edges just like you do on any pocket. Fold over the bump. I grab the wrong bloody cord. Okay. These are going to fit. Like this. I need to get the papers on. Wrapping that tape around to the back side. I want to put down my pattern paper before I put these down, but I want to figure out where I have to connect them. There's a better way of doing that. All right, so let's get our 6x6 piece down. We used that one. I'm going to. The color's so close that it's wrong. So we'll do this one, this side. Start by gluing this one down. Glue that one down. Not too close to this edge. You don't want to bind things up. Okay, so the edge of your paper, if you've got it a 1/16 inch up, is a good guide. If you don't, come in a little bit. Okay, this has had a chance to dry a little bit. And Boy, are you guys getting an education today. This doesn't matter, nobody's going to see it. We're just going to do the edges first. Probably should have done it that way to begin with. Don't fret. Don't fret when things don't go exactly as you want them to. Don't get me wrong, sometimes there's just no way to recover from a big one, but generally you'll find a way. And don't get me wrong, I have had to throw away whole pages because I did something really stupid in the end. Alright, so to glue along the bottom here. Tuck my pieces in. I see that bit of white there, and I'm going to take care of that right quick. Got a black marker with a nice fine tip on it. Shield down, see if I can keep from marking the craft paper, and I don't know if that's gonna work or not, no, I'm not gonna be able to do it, so I'm just gonna have to be really careful. And that is the wrong end. To come back when that's dry. Okay. Honestly, I bought all the Ranger markers and I don't use them much. Again, I'm not a big stamper. I don't do a lot of freehand writing, so they're just not a tool for me. Alright, so now this has got adhesive all over it. And thanks, but no thanks. So I don't suppose it matters what's on the back. Okay, so I'm going to put this on here. And that way I can hear this down on just 3 edges rather than the whole thing. It was very kind of them to apply adhesive for me. We got 2 things going on here with this adhesive. It's a dry adhesive, which means it is never going to really dry. And geez, let me decide. Craft knife, sharp blade, never to be without. I'm putting this here because I got some glue stuff on there from reworking, and I want to hide it. You know, sometimes your most creative moments come from having to overcome an oops. Okay, so we need a tag for inside of here. And yeah, 5.5 wide will be perfect. I'm going to use this because it's just a scrap out of here. I could also do a second one tall, but I'm just going to do a wide one right now. Okay. So I'm going to need some paper. By 4.5. Okay. I also want my corners round. What piece of paper do I want to use to mat that? That one to go with that piece of chipboard. Okay, so this is directional paper, so I've got to be careful. So it's 5 1/4 wide by 4 1/2 tall. I did the, okay. Okay. Clip my corners. Now I print my own journal paper. And I do it because I get to choose the color I want it in. It's not always that. It doesn't have to be the blue that they print notebook paper in. So I just print my own. But you could certainly use a sheet of notebook paper. Five 1/4 wide. And a little tip, if you ever get paper that it feels like it's too thin for your punch, just layer it up with a scrap and it'll work. By just making it a little more rigid. You know, as in tissue paper is impossible to trim like that. Using the Stormy Sky. I could just leave it because the background's pretty white. But I don't want to. Plenty of room in there for at least another tag to have photos front and back and not be too squished. darn it. No, let's see if I can do this. Just gonna leave it. Okay.